and we're going right back into it.
Late last night and early today,
Yep.
at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela.
I heard about this.
Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since...
I hate how Trump talks. It's so tired. Like, yeah, we get it. You're going to self-glaze here.
World War II.
But now they did see it. Wow.
It was a force against a heavily...
That's a lot.
Mr. Bootlicker agrees. Shocker.
...fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I don't think anyone's questioning the might or competence of the U.S. military. I think they're questioning the competence and the coherence and the mental faculties of the leadership and the media. But
and if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the
Iraq
attack on
Iran.
Soleimani.
That was the one, by the way, when Trump killed him. He went out at like 2 in the morning and he just started talking shit about him, saying that like he
so epic and based, bro. So cool. I love when my president gets epic based owns on the opponent. It's so sweet.
died like a dog, and like why did
he's retarded too? Because that's not even the right thing that he's talking about. He's talking about al-Baghdadi, but he thinks he's talking. He thinks that happened when Soleimani was assassinated, because he has no fucking clue what he's talking about, because he's a clueless dipshit propagandist who does zero research, and just gets his information from memes on his Twitter feed. Dipshit.
Didn't they come in through the front door to arrest the guy, and then he's gonna write a book and nobody gives him any...
Even his chat is more informed than this dipshit
credit. That was that guy.
The attack on al-Baghdadi and the...
Oh no, that was him. No, that was,
and decimation.
Oh! Yeah, because this guy gets his political opinions from Shane Gillis stand-up specials, by the way.
Of the Iran nuclear sites.
This is how this dipshit informs himself.
Just recently, in an operation known as Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer.
Wow, such a cool name, bro. Pog.
How about that?
Perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military working with U.S.
I love how people actually thought this wasn't going to happen. It was so obvious this was going to happen.
Enforcement.
Is there any video anywhere of Asmongold actually alleging this? Or is he just like claiming credit for something he didn't even say? Because that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, propagandists lie constantly, right?
Successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night.
Got his ass.
It was dark. It
was. I saw the video.
The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain...
This dude is senile. Holy shit. What the fuck is blood waffling about right now?
Expertise that we have. It was dark.
A certain expertise that we have. So we were able to just like remotely turn off all their power.
Dude, this guy is actually like, I don't know who's more senile in this picture right now. What a fucking retarded thing to say.
That's a little bit of a
he actually thinks he's cooking too. Look at him. Look at his face.
Revealing
he's so
a little bit of power
stupid.
Level, huh? How about that?
Revealing power level.
The fuck?
So he's just like, now he just accepts this as fact. You see how like this is like the worst way to get your information is from watching someone this fucking like mentally.
It's deadly.
Okay.
But captured along with his wife.
It's fucking nuts. No, the thing is, like, anybody that thinks that the military, this is what's so funny. They think that they're not doing anything. These guys
Nobody
love
thinks
doing
that.
This shit. They're doing...
Nobody thinks that the U.S. military is incapable of doing things or that they don't do things. Nobody thinks that. He's inventing some... This is straw manning, by the way, if you want your debate terms.
No, do you really think that they're not trying to come up with the real Jewish space lasers? Really?
It's just buzzwords. So boring.
I mean, if you were in the military, would you be trying to make space lasers? I would. Of course. Fuck.
Celia
yeah, it'd be
Flores,
super useful.
Both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores.
And by the way, this is the reason why they don't reveal a lot of their tactics and what they do. It's because in doing so, they would reveal technologies that they don't want people to understand or be able to reverse engineer and try to account for preemptively in the future.
By the way, this technology that he's discussing here is something he literally just invented 30 seconds ago in his mind, because Trump didn't say that, but okay.
Indicted in the Southern District of New York, it's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
The USA Hammer of Dawn.
I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. Mm-hmm. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment.
Yeah,
if you look back to Afghanistan.
Sponsored. He is state-sponsored media, so or at least he wants to be. That's why he bootlicks Trump so hard, no matter what, and literally invents fake talking points to make him seem stronger or more competent than he actually is, like he just did, like we just watched in real time.
Or if you look back to
Iraq,
the Jimmy Carter days.
Oh,
they were different days. We're
different
a
days.
Respected country again, like maybe like never before.
Jimmy Carter is 1 trillion times the man Trump could ever be, or president. So, I mean, like, you think about how different of a period of time we live in now compared to then. Jimmy Carter had to sell off his peanut farm when he became president because people thought it would be a conflict of interest for the president to own a peanut farm. And now Trump does crypto shitcoin rug pulls on his own supporters. And no one cares because the American public, the people are retarded.
With that,
these highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, were just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position, but they were completely overwhelmed. And
so they were ready for this, and it just happened no matter what? Just clarify, you like Trump? I like things that Trump does. I don't like people, I like things. I like what he's doing.
I mean, that's
here.
not true. He clearly is like, he wants Trump's cock in his mouth at all times. He thirsts for it. So that's obviously a lie.
I'm happy that he's doing it. I think it was a good decision.
I mean, he has no idea if it was a good decision. And he makes that abundantly clear.
Very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed. And not a single
Talk about Biden.
American equipment was lost.
So we didn't even lose any stuff? So they did like a hitless speed run? They did it in a half hour? Like, I feel, Call of Duty missions take longer than this.
I like how his entire frame of reference for everything is video games. That's really interesting.
Holy shit. That's embarrassing.
We had many helicopters, many planes, many people.
I mean, it's probably pretty easy when you're the U.S. military, and so obviously you're not going to like fight back. In a lot of cases, the people that we like brutally attack for no reason are probably not going to fight back, but
involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities and skills our enemies can
Bro, he can barely talk. He is clinging to life. Holy shit.
Begin to imagine.
This is embarrassing. This is worse than Joe Biden ever was.
We have the best equipment anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I would assume that to be true if you just turned off their power. Yeah, I'd say so.
There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%.
Yeah, think about this again, right? Like, we just did this entire operation and everything went off perfectly and there was nothing that went wrong and we didn't even lose anybody. We didn't even lose any equipment and there's nothing they could do about it, even though they thought that it was going to happen. And you're trying to tell me that they don't know what's in the boats. Think about that. That they could have done this entire thing, kidnapped the president of the country.
This has nothing. This literally has nothing. There is no correlation between these two things. This guy's an idiot. But I mean, like, we knew that.
But they can't figure out what's in a boat.
Well, you can figure out where the president of Venezuela is if a video of him meeting with Chinese dignitaries gets posted publicly. Unless Asmongold has videos of people loading fentanyl bricks onto speedboats to take off into the Gulf of Mexico, I don't know what his thought. I mean, there is no thought process, right? Other than Daddy Trump, I must glaze.
Think about how stupid you
Like
have
the FBI couldn't even figure out who shot Charlie Kirk. The kid's parents turned himself in.
to be to think that.
Made him turn himself in.
Each boat kills 25, on average, 25,000
And this was an extremely public thing that happened on American soil, by the way.
people. We knocked out
Not anymore.
97%. And those drugs mostly come from,
They couldn't find the guy who shot up Brown for like 2 weeks.
it's called Venezuela.
Yeah.
Like, this is the most incompetent government that has ever held power in the United States by far. It's not even close. Like, there's no competition. These are the most incompetent, like, set of dipshits that have ever held power in this country. It's not even close. So the notion that, like, they know what's being loaded onto a boat at a Venezuelan port, like, no. And Trump, in this speech, will make it clear that he doesn't give a fuck about the drugs anyways. It was just, so it was all probably just made up to justify this escalation.
Going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So,
At least you admit it's kidnapping? Brother, use whatever vocabulary you want.
I don't give a fuck. I'm evil. Poggers.
What matters is what happened. Now, I don't care what words you want to use at all. You call it whatever you want. Reframe
And
it.
what happened is a Republican president got us into another endless war, just like the last one.
You want.
Maybe 2 endless wars, because, well, I mean, like if he's trying to do more than every president in history, like he constantly claims, baselessly, of course, then he would need to get us into 3 endless wars to top Bush's too, you know?
we don't want to be involved.
Say, call,
Well, I mean, we're still technically in year 1 for 17 more days, so
however you want to
having
call it. Go ahead
somebody
and do
else
it.
get in, and we have the same
Yeah.
situation.
1 war
that
per
we had for
year
the last
from
war.
the anti-war president who desperately was groveling for a Nobel Peace Prize and didn't get it. So now he's going to start a bunch of wars. Crazy.
period of years.
We nabbed him.
So we are going to run
He got
the country
nabbed.
until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. Then it has to be judicious, because
For
that's what
once.
we're all about.
Unless we're
We
not.
want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States
Put some powder on this man's nose, dude. This is disgusting to look at.
Yeah, because
and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland.
You got Pokeball.
We can't take a chance that
We got
somebody
Master
else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have
get in
the
the
good
box,
of the
bitch.
Venezuelan people in mind.
Another video game analogy. Poggers.
We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan, by the way. But, like, obviously, like, this moron, this, like, sub 40 IQ dipshit, and, of course, all of his audience, which are, like, dumber than, like, a fetus, honestly. You could justify some crazy stuff with that logic. They don't care. They don't care because they don't know history. They don't care about reality. They just care about memes, owning the libs, and glazing Trump's cock as hard as possible. That's all.
We're gonna just run. What the fuck? We're gonna just run the country. Okay. Look at Marco Rubio. Oh no. Oh god. No.
As a proper transition can take place.
He have gray
As
hair by the
everyone
end of
knows,
this.
the oil
Literally
business-
identical to Iraq, by the way. But of course, like, this guy is just not intelligent enough to understand that.
in Venezuela has been
Very
a bust,
dumb
a total
dipshit.
bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure.
So we just basically took this shit over, and then we're gonna have the oil companies come in and just fix it up.
Fix it up, he says. Huh. So now we're in favor of invading countries to steal their oil. Huh. Interesting. Because I could have sworn Asmongold would have pretended to be against that, 5 days ago. But of course, if Trump says it, he will hop on that dick. He'll do tricks on it. So
Anybody, guys? Again, this oil was promised to us 3,000 years ago. That's just the way it is.
I don't know
Excellent.
what weird fucking white supremacist dog whistle that was, but okay.
I'm so happy. Yeah. Bet they
the
are.
oil infrastructure and start making money for the country.
So we're just going to get the money back. That's good.
Ready to stage a second.
And you know how else we could? I actually have a proposed plan for bringing American businesses and taxpayers $150 billion annually, and it's canceling Trump's pointless tariffs that everyone knew way ahead of time were a horrible idea, but he's quadrupled down on because he's a moron and a narcissist.
And much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared.
If we need to do so. Well, how about that?
Well, how about that?
And it's going to be worse this time.
Wow.
To do a second wave. If we needed to do so, we actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first
all that matters is the stock market, bro.
Wave, if you'd like to call it that. The first
not like American lives, ability to afford housing or groceries or anything. You know, what matters is glazing Daddy Trump at all turns and stonk go up, even though pretty much all the stocks at this point are being owned by billionaires. But okay, true.
Was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared.
Is there anything more pathetic than someone getting down on their knees to glaze a billionaire? Like, holy shit.
To do
to argue on their behalf.
He's just out there talking shit. Even bro, goddamn.
He's second
still talking
wave,
shit.
A much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership.
What? Dude, he's just yapping. He's just, the shit he says doesn't even make sense. He's just a fucking senile retard.
Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe.
Wow.
Doubt it.
And it will also make...
What about the people of America? Because you've completely failed on that on every front. But we're doing that for people in Venezuela now?
The many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore.
That's right. They're going to have
The
oil
illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas.
Sound it out, dipshit.
Which flooded our nation with lethal poison.
That's why they did it at night. So because Solus, that's the sun, they attack at night. That way they don't know.
Responsible for the deaths of countless Americans. Many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of
they were at low power level.
Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil.
Something really funny about this situation is that one of the charges Pam Bondi is trying to bring against them, because Pam Bondi, of course, was appointed by Trump and thus is an incompetent troglodyte. She is trying to bring a 1934 firearms law against Maduro, which, in case you're wondering, no. The president of Venezuela does not fall under the jurisdiction of American firearm laws, but...
They're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York.
Now they're there.
And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's...
I don't know what they have. Like, if it was up to me, I'd just say just shoot him. Just shoot him. Get rid of it. Because you get rid of the guy, then it's done. But, like, if there's a chance for him to go into a trial, and then it's going on and on and on, and then, like, there's a chance that you could build up a degree of, like, sympathy for it, yeah, I'd have just shot him on the way over.
Yeah, I bet you would have, because you're a violent fascist pig. But that's not really, like, how most people operate or not really the society most people want to live in, so.
Just drop him off in the ocean.
Both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been
99% conviction rate? Maybe you're right.
For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion.
Venezuela's people are happy that Maduro is gone. Yeah, and the Iraqis were happy that Saddam was gone until their country fucking collapsed because the United States going in, removing people from head of state, and then trying to rule it themselves does not have a great track record. So it's a very short-term period of celebration, especially since considering that during this speech, a reporter is going to ask Trump about Machado, who is the opposition who supposedly won the most recent election, but Maduro rigged it. And Trump said, no, she doesn't have the popularity or support within Venezuela to lead the country, even though she apparently won the last election. So I guess we're just going to rule over Venezuela remotely. And I don't think that's going to lead to a good outcome.
Against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking.
The thing is, they probably know why. They're probably keeping him around for a reason. I mean, not stupid. Like, they probably know something I don't know.
Gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide.
A gang that was invented for Trump to enact violence. But, you know, okay.
Wide, and he did indeed.
Could be a bargaining chip.
They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now.
You should ask, Trump should ask someone what happens with American gangs if you call the police on someone.
And I just have to, in complexes, they cut the fingers off people if they call police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now.
He's so cool.
Man, he almost 80 years old. He up here doing this shit.
Yeah, he's up here stuttering, can't read, barely making his way through a speech, making shit up. That sounds like the behavior of a senile 80-year-old to me. It kind of tracks.
Jesus.
And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington.
No crime.
That's pretty good.
We haven't had.
CIA just takes that at face value. Trump's insane claim, no crime. Huh.
A killing.
Asmongold doesn't even pause to think like, huh, does that make any sense at all? Has there ever been a crimeless society?
The terrorist attack.
Whatever.
National Guardsman. Yeah.
A little bit of a different kind of a threat.
Yeah.
But we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in
Biden wakes up, OMG sniff, falls asleep again.
I gotta do it in Minnesota
right now, and crime is down.
do it in Minnesota.
Trump's just not any better, bro.
Would have started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%.
Go round them up.
And the governor of Louisiana called, great person.
Oh yeah,
and he wanted us
Republican. MAGA, Trump Glazer, great guy.
To help him, as you know, in a certain
6-7. I know, guys.
Part of Louisiana, and we have done that. It was a rough section.
Iranian officials now lost so much of the money they were owed by Venezuela. Wait, Venezuela owed Iran money? Oh no! Oh no! I didn't know that. Probably a lot, right?
And then we have
hundreds of billions.
You didn't know that.
I understand.
You know, it's the way it goes.
It's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans.
What's up, Huey Long?
It's
Yeah,
down
I know
to
him.
almost nothing.
I know him.
And we've only
Every
been
man
there
a king.
for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster. But it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it.
You'll know.
And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on.
We saved Los Angeles by sending in the military to accomplish nothing. We saved Los Angeles to act like a dictator and to just like raise tensions and cause problems for no reason whatsoever. We saved Los Angeles.
Head of The police department made a statement that if the federal government
Keep in
didn't
mind, Trump will continue to talk shit about Los Angeles, though, even though he claims that he saved it.
come in, we would have lost Los Angeles.
That's true.
That's long after the fires.
Yeah, after that
That's when
shithole.
they had the riots
Gavin for president, baby.
in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need
You don't get credit for things you don't do.
credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in
No, you didn't.
various cities.
You did a horrible job. You did nothing. You just caused problems.
Washington, D.C.
Tried to act
'cause
like a
it's our
fascist
nation's
dictator.
capital. We took it from being a
You gotta get
crime-ridden
them roaches
mess
out of there,
to
yeah.
being one of the safest cities
There is no
in the
greater
country.
roach on society. No greater.
But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and
Nope.
murdered American women and children.
Real bad.
They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua, and they were sent
Not so
by
brutal now,
Maduro
apparently.
to terrorize our people, and now Maduro will never
The greatest national security threat to the United States is MAGA, to be clear.
again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no
Probably
longer
not going
be
to happen,
threats.
yeah.
For years,
After he just bragged about using the military to threaten American citizens in California, by the way, immediately after.
highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by
Yeah, no, it's awful. It's funny how a lot of people are making criticism of the U.S., while most of the people that I know from Venezuela, including myself, are celebrating this. That's because, see, here, let me explain the reason why, right?
Oh, I
And
can't
here's
wait to hear
another thing
this.
I haven't said before. I'm not going to repeat myself.
I'm sure this will be reasonable. I cannot wait to hear this.
But, like, basically, the people that don't live in Venezuela don't have to live with the consequences of Venezuela. So,
Oh no, Maduro, bad. True.
Venezuela existing is
But I thought we didn't care about anyone except American citizens, Asmongold. So now why are you acting like we're heroes for Venezuelans when you supported cutting U.S. aid because you don't give a fuck about anyone who lives outside our borders? Can you explain that to me?
purely symbolic for them. So if Venezuela has a good thing happen to it, then that's good for them because that's good for their ideology and it's good for their worldview. But if it has a bad thing happen to it, at least from their perspective,
Hold up, who's doing the most damage at the moment? There's two sides to the coin. The left have caused more trouble in America than anyone else. I completely and totally disagree. The left has problems, and I'm happy to talk about any of those problems, but MAGA has destroyed people's ability to think critically. They have done insane, like Donald Trump enacted tariffs that are costing Americans $150 billion annually, but everyone's obsessed with $8 billion at the highest estimates, $8 billion of fraud in Minnesota, when Trump is doing pointless tariffs that are costing us like well over 10x that amount, almost 20x that amount every single year for no reason, with no justification or thought process behind it. The destruction of the American mind is the problem with MAGA first and foremost.
then it's bad for them and it's bad for their worldview. So they don't really care about what actually happens in Venezuela. They care about what looks like what happens in Venezuela.
I don't really care that much about what happens in Venezuela, to be clear. What I care about is what's going to happen to the United States. And this is a bad move for the United States. This is going to cost the United States because apparently now we're just ruling over them, just like Iraq and Afghanistan. This is going to cost American taxpayers tons of money. It's going to be another endless war that Republicans throw us into.
Because that's what's going to affect their political viewpoints and their political expedience and their political power. So that's the entire goal they have. Yeah, I can't point Venezuela on a map. Well, I'm just saying in general, I think this is true. They give zero fuck about it. Yeah, they don't care about whether people die there or not. They don't care about whether there's a dictator there or not. All they care about is that Venezuela doesn't.
But I thought Asmongold's whole thing was that he didn't care. He doesn't care about anyone but people within the U.S. borders. So now why is he virtue signaling about Venezuelan citizens? Such a weird switch up. Well, of course, because it benefits him in this moment. That's why he's doing it, right? But
look like it's failing, because if it looks like it's failing, then it makes it look like their ideology is failing. Does that make sense? It's facts over feelings or reality.
I can think of one ideology that clearly is failing right now, but
it's optics over reality, more so than anything. But they don't have to live with whatever happens. Like, if Venezuela is good, it's bad, doesn't matter to them. So it's purely symbolic. That's why they're angry.
this Venezuelan terrorist organization, really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst.
They say it.
Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn
A lot of people are saying
Nungary
this.
from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungary. What happened to her? They
12-year-old Jocelyn. What happened to her? He probably doesn't know.
Really? It's the
He
fact
probably
that
was
they're
actually
kidnapped.
asking.
No, it's true.
assaulted and murdered
You're right.
by Tren de Aragua
Mm-hmm.
animals. They murdered Jocelyn.
I like this.
And-
Dehumanization. One step closer. One step closer. We got to get more of this.
Holy shit. Dehumanization. We got to get more of this. I feel like you have to hear that phrase and recognize that this dude is not a good person. But
All right.
Left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge.
this is where Asmongold fails because he's not that smart and he doesn't mask up well enough.
A bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The
Yep.
reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons
Is worse.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Asmon is just in
Amazing.
I mean, he's close, man. He's certainly getting there.
A little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher.
It's more long term.
Mental
Tetraviolet, thank you.
institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They said,
Well, no, we don't have either one, man. That's the problem. That's the whole problem, man. You got to bring them back. You got to get them crazies and put them back in the box. That's the problem.
Gotta put him in a camp. I wouldn't say he's a Nazi because Nazi implies like a certain set of beliefs that I don't think he holds all of those. But like his eagerness to dehumanize, he literally said, dehumanization, we need more of this. Because Trump called some group of people animals, Tren de Aragua or whatever. And it's like, that is kind of the Nazi mindset. I don't think he's a Nazi ideologically. Although some of the stuff he says makes me wonder sometimes, but I would say that the idea that you need to be violent or dehumanize people, we were saying like we should have just shot him in the head, shouldn't have even brought Maduro back. It's like, well, first of all, in a geopolitical sense, that's insane. That is like actual world war immediately. One, it still could be, honestly. It could still end up that this set of actions they're taking leads to world war. And then it's also just not like how you're supposed to. I mean, if you care about like Western society, then the idea that like we're just going to immediately murder people, no trial, that kind of goes against democracy and human rights and all those silly things. But calling him a Nazi, I probably wouldn't agree with that. I just think he says some stuff that's getting there for sure.
But we got a big problem. We got all
He
these
says stuff that is very concerning to me.
nutballs running around wild.
and from their mental institution.
Only guilty pedophiles worry about using the word beautiful on children. Actually, you will not use the word. I don't. Who's thinking about this? Jesus Christ, relax. Holy fuck. Who's thinking
They
about
sent
this?
from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers.
Because he said that girl was beautiful.
They were
What are we
drug
doing?
kingpins. They sent everybody.
It's because he
bad
said that
into
girl
the
was
United
beautiful.
States.
That's why.
But no
Jesus
longer.
Christ.
We have now a border where nobody gets through.
Uh-huh.
In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil. American
They
assets
stole our oil. You hear that? Of course we can't let that happen.
and American platforms, costing us
Yeah.
billions and billions
Just the
of
way
dollars.
it is. Venezuela? That's what they
did
call
this a
it.
while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property.
Mm-hmm.
It was our property. We built it, and we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built
Our
Venezuela.
wars are 5,000
oil
miles away.
industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during
Yep.
those previous administrations, and they
This oil was promised to us.
stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. Like we were babies in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we
Oh
didn't do
my
anything
God.
about it. I would have done something about it.
Oh, man. The content president. What can I say?
America will never allow foreign powers to
Yeah.
rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. They used those weapons.
They did? I didn't notice. What happened?
Last night, potentially in league with the cartels operating along our
how'd that
border.
work out?
All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries.
They exploded? They blew up? Yeah.
Not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines.
I can't believe Trump's about to say what he's about to say, by the way.
And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot.
Yeah?
By a real lot. They now call it the Donroe document. I don't know. It's superseded it by a lot. By a
Jesus Christ, man.
real lot. They now call it the Donroe document. I don't know. It's
Replace Greta with Subway sandwich. What do you get? Well, that's why I think calling people Nazis is kind of a waste of time anyways. But you could say he's genocidal towards these people. Well, are we talking about Asmon or Trump? They both are pretty open about their absolute hatred of migrants, for sure. I mean, we were shipping off people to, like, essentially concentration camps in El Salvador, so...
Monroe Doctrine, we sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it.
Oh my God, the Donroe Doctrine. I saw
Amazing.
a quote about this, and I was thinking to myself,
Inhaler Lewis,
there's
thank
no
you.
way. There's no way he did this.
We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned
Of course
again.
he did. Yeah,
Won't
what am I
happen.
thinking?
So just in
What was I
concluding, for
thinking?
decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way
Yeah.
in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security.
The oil.
Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before.
I would say our national
these are the
security
iron
has
laws
never been weaker. But
that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will.
On one hand, Trump will come out and claim that they've done more than anything any countries or any president or any administration has ever done. He'll say he closed the border, but then he's still talking about securing the border. So did he do it already? Is he going to do it? I mean, the answer is he's done nothing, but
crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may
I'm looking at the two greatest domestic threats I'm aware of right now, but
have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America.
Yeah.
But I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States.
That's right.
This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United
Do you
States.
think dementia started to set in yet? He just
yeah, I mean, clearly.
old. Is this what this like? Sometimes
No, Joe Biden was just old, man.
old people fuck up what they're saying. That's just what happens.
Retains all military options.
I wonder if he had this same mindset 2 years ago.
Fuck up what I'm
States
saying. I'm not even
demands
old.
Have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand.
Holy cope, dude. This whole fucking chat is just so obviously partisan.
He's
What
awake for
happened
24
to
hours?
Maduro
Yeah.
can happen to them.
It's normal. He's old and tired. Bruh been up all night. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And it will happen to them.
Wait. Well, what? Wait a minute.
All political and military figures
I wonder if they would have ever offered the same, like, excuses to Joe Biden. Probably not, right?
figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them.
Oh.
Like
So
I'll use a
don't fuck
term.
around, okay.
I'll use a term Asmongold himself used about Joe Biden. This guy's a walking corpse.
All right, got it. Makes sense.
Will happen to them if they aren't just, fair, even to their people.
Uh-huh.
The dictator and terrorist,
Not a
Maduro,
surprise.
is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation. This morning,
The fuck around and find out index? Is that what they call it?
it's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow
Yeah.
When is Asmongold going to get to reading articles and you know, evaluating real information and not obvious propaganda? But he is obvious propaganda, so of course he's just going to regurgitate everything Trump says because he's got Trump's cock in his throat.
horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So
God
I want to
is
thank
arguable.
everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane.
Unless you're
He's
in, you know, Greenland, for example, who Trump keeps talking about invading.
fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good.
Give me.
But this-
Oh shit! Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. This morning, Raisin Kane, he's fantastic man.
Sorry,
I've worked
like, give me 1 sec. I gotta use the bathroom, and then there's another one I gotta watch after this.
with a lot
We're
of
good. Sorry about that.
generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked
This
with
part
some
right
I
after
didn't
QA at the
respect.
end. Okay.
I worked with some that just weren't good, but this guy is fantastic. I watched
I'm so tired, boss. Yeah, that's just the world we live in, man. This is what we chose, allegedly.
last
All right. Let me
night
see here.
one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice.
For
And
justice.
I'm very proud of him, and I'm very
That's right.
proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me see here. And there is more to this as well. So, oh, here it is. Okay.
All right, that was painful.